Basis of Scientific Research, Lecture 3. The theme, the concept and main stages of research, the research program. So, intelligence is the simplest type of specific sociological research which is used if the subject of the study has not been studied enough at all, or if it is necessary to detect the degree of satisfaction of users with the work of the institution as a whole and its individual divisions, the estimated reaction of users to events that have taken place or will take place in a certain institution. In these studies, only one of the available methods of collecting information, in particular, questionnaires or interviews, is used. A type of intelligence research is an express survey, the purpose of which is to quickly obtain certain information, especially necessary at this time or under these conditions. These studies, as well as the survey of public thought, are organized according to an incomplete program or without it. So, the first stage is preparatory organizational stage. Pre-program study of the problem, the first point. The second, preparation and approval of the working plan of the study. The third, development and approval of the research program. The fourth, preparation of tools, development of questionnaires, forms, interviews, documents, analysis, cards, instructions to interviews and replication of these documents. The next, testing of tools, and preparation of a data collecting processing program. The second stage is collection and processing of information. Here, preparation of the collected data for processing, rejection, coding, generalization of open responses, introduction to computer, processing of the received information. The third is analysis and interpretation of the information. Analysis of the results of mathematical processing of the received information, development of conclusions and suggestions, preparation of the final document of the sociological research, informational analytical note, report, and additions to it. The fourth stage is implementation of the results obtained in practice. So the first is preparation of a memo, the second, preparation of a draft document on activities or proposals based on the results of the study. The first stage is quite complex. It is advisable to start working with the study of the literature devoted to this problem, familiarization with research materials on similar topics, relevant statistical data. At this stage, the research program and work plan are developed. A methodology is compiled, a system for collecting primary data is installed, and a program for processing them. The methodological and procedural section includes research methodology, methods of data collection, processing, and analysis, formation of a sample population, sample type, structure, sample size, tools for collecting information, questionnaires, document analysis, cards, tests, instructions to interviews, etc. The logic of presenting section, the next, the logic of the presentation of the program sections is similar to the logic of the presentation of any research work. Therefore, we should focus only on certain features of its creation. Concerning creating a program, it begins with choosing a research topic and identifying a problem situation. A problematic situation is a disagreement between our idea of the need for practical actions and ignorance of ways to solve them. The majority of studies are caused by the discrepancy between the state of a phenomenon or process, activity, and modern requirements, the need to search for new and improve the forms, methods, means of work. The definition of a problem situation helps to formulate a problem, justify the need to study a particular field of activity, develop theoretical foundations and practical actions aimed at identifying a set of contradictions, causes, and circumstances, and their elimination. In applied research, instead of formulating a problem, you can make a list of specific questions that need to be answered. Based on the analysis of the problem, the object and subject of the study are determined. So, the object of research is what the process of cognition is aimed at. An object can be an institution, a collective, a process, or a phenomenon that is studied individually as a part of certain groups or institutions. Collectives taking into account positive and negative factors that affect its functioning and will cause a problem situation. The subject of the study is the most significant properties, the sides of the object that are subject to study. That is what most clearly reflects this contradiction. The subject of the study answers the question, what is being studied? For example, the object of the research is the readers of regional libraries, and the subject of study is the organization of the service and degrees of satisfaction of their requests, permitted activity of young people, and amateur permitted activity of young people. The next structural element of the program is the definition of the purpose and objectives of. So the purpose of the research is the expected final result, which determines the general orientation and logic of the research. The goal is determined by the answer to the question, what is the research being conducted for? A clear formation of a specific goal is one of the most important methodological requirements for an applied research program. The research task formulates questions that should be answered in order to achieve the research goal. They reveal the content of the subject of research and are consistent with hypotheses to detect, to find out, to analyze, to determine. Hypothesis is a scientifically based assumption about the structure of an object that are being studied, social phenomena, the nature and essential connections, and factors that determine these connections. This is a kind of forecast of the expected solution of a research problem. It is based on the available theoretical knowledge about the object under study. Different types of hypotheses are used in sociological research. The main hypothesis indicates the most important connections of the object. Hypotheses are consequences, are derived from the main ones and serve as a means of probing them. Working hypotheses are put forward at the initial stages of the analysis and are the initial data regarding the nature and properties of the studied connections of the object. Descriptive hypotheses are provision about the actual state of an object, its structure and functions. Explanatory hypotheses are focused on determining cause and effect of relationships, identifying causes, facts established through confirmation, or descriptive hypotheses. So, as for stages of research, there are several of them: preparatory and organizational, collection, processing, analysis of information, and preparation of conclusions, implementation of the results obtained in practice. The preparatory stage of the study serves as the theoretical basis for all other research procedures. The mistakes made at this stage are very difficult or impossible to correct. The time spent on it as a rule is more significant than all other stages. And the development of the scientific observation program includes 5 stages: defining goals and objectives, so it determines the direction of the observation. Tasks may include previous orientation of the object of observation. One of the leading tasks of the observation program can be the construction and classification of conditions. The second, selection of the object, subject, and observation situation. The object can be social communities, groups, individuals in various situations. An observation situation is a set of conditions under which an object is subject to observation. According to this research program, observation of the situations can be natural and experimental, controlled and uncontrolled, spontaneous and organized. So, as for the choice of the means type and the definition of categories and features by which the observation situation will be monitored and evaluated, categories are groups of empirical features of an object of observation that are recorded during observation and are found in certain indicators in standardized observations. The observation criteria can be descriptive or evaluative. The signs reflect the most significant aspects of the object. These are, for example, the acts of object actions available to observation, the audience's reaction to the cultural and permissive program, held readers' conferences, a set of conditions under which the object is subject to the observation. So the literature which should be used while getting ready for this